Hello, we are Geeks Assembled, and we've gathered here again today. And today we're going to talk about a film that has come out only recently, and it's Bohemian Rhapsody. And we'll go straight to Susan, actually, since she's unmuted herself. Susan,
Yeah,
what did you make of this film? You a fan of Queen?
I enjoyed this film. I thought that the acting was good. I thought that the story was good. I thought that it was. I mean, they may have gotten things wrong. My significant other thinks that there was many things wrong. But I enjoyed it. I thought that there were some unrecognizable famous people in it, so that was fun. And the guy who played Mr. Robot played Freddie Mercury, which was a nuanced performance. He captured the Turkish feel, you know, the foreigner, in London kind of thing, and and so that was good. And then he also captured the personality of Freddie, and so that was really good. The guy who voiced the music was awesome. It wasn't the guy who played Mr. Robot. That was not the same character or the same voice. And in the interviews up to the Golden Globes, he said, "You probably don't ever want to hear me sing." And I was like, "Oh, okay. So who did do the singing?" And I was just watching last night, and I saw the interview with the man who did the singing, and he started off as like a Christian rock singer, and he became known for his ability to completely mimic Freddie Mercury's tone and his style and his songs. And so now he's the front man of a Queen tribute act, and he has voiced the music in the biggest selling motion picture, to do with Queen outside of Wayne's World. And because Wayne's World had Queen music and as its base too. All right, it had Bohemian Rhapsody specifically as its bass tune. I mean, there have been lots and lots and lots of other movies with like Queen music in it. The Highlander, let's just say, the first thing off the top of my head is Highlander. And so there were a lot of other movies, but, Bohemian Rhapsody really captured it, and it was all about them. So that was super fun, and I enjoyed it immensely. And so that's my opening thoughts.
And your significant other's not going to join us? No? Okay. I really want to know what Alex thinks, so, about the timeline, about how accurate it was. Let's go to Lee.
I absolutely love this movie. Yeah, there is some inaccuracies, but they made the decision to begin the movie in 1985 at Live Aid and end the movie in 1985 at Live Aid. So they did have to bring some things into the movie, what happened later, like Freddie Mercury's diagnosis of AIDS, which I think was in 1987, not 1985. So, yeah, it's apart from that, the inaccuracies don't bother me at all. It didn't take away from the enjoyment of the movie, and it wasn't a film just purely about Freddie Mercury. It was a film about the band. Okay, yes, he was the frontman, one of the greatest frontmen ever. Talent, brilliant talent, brilliant songwriting, performer, and you got that from Rami Malek as well, portraying him. He just channeled Freddie Mercury. There's no way. I mean, those false teeth. How long he had to practice with those teeth. I mean, I've heard he's got the teeth at home and he's had them gold plated now. So I don't know how true that is, but if he doesn't get the Oscar, there's no justice at all. Yeah, I just loved it. It didn't go too into his sexuality. It didn't show any grotesque sex scenes or anything like that. That was just left to whatever you wanted to think. Because he was like that. He never really opened up about his sexuality until about a few hours before he died, really. The news report, what was put out, what he released. So he kept his private life private. But everybody knows about his famous parties, and I'd love to have been in one of those just to see what was going on in those parties. But the movie, I loved it. The actors all in it who portrayed Brian May, Roger Taylor, John Deacon, brilliant. I mean, I didn't even know that the guy who played John Deacon in this movie was the little kid from Jurassic Park. Yeah, I did my homework. Yeah, and I'm sure the guy who played Roger Taylor, I don't know how true this is, but was in EastEnders at one point. But so, yeah, I enjoyed it. I mean, I'm a big fan of Queen, and you see Mr. Mercury's up there on my wall. Just a great legend, brilliant singer. And it's done Freddie Mercury justice. It hasn't rubbed his name in the dirt or anything like that. It's done him justice, and it's brought Queen to the forefront again, in my opinion. So that's my opening thought for now. Over to you, Alid.
And over to Stephen Price for his opening.
I first seen it. When it first came out, I was totally, I read reviews, some not good. I take no notice to what critics say anyway. That
they talk a load of rubbish half the time.
Crap. So I watched it, and it was just amazing. I was blown away. Him in the younger days, it was a long hair and doing Killer Queen and all that. It's just so like him, And the Live Aid was, I don't know if any of you've seen the making of. That they got everything perfect. The movements. He had dancers with him to do the right moves and everything. It was just when you're watching the movie, you're about half an hour into it, you think you are watching the real Freddie Mercury, It's just an amazing movie. And I've watched it 4 times, by the way. Yeah. There you go.
Oh, so you're a really big Queen fan then?
Oh yeah, I got the first original album.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
I mean, really, this film should be rubbish, shouldn't it? Really, because
it would have been rubbish if the other actor had
I was about to mention him because
I remember him. He was in what the name of
it? Borat. What's it? Borat.
Yeah.
Sasha Caron
ruined it.
What's his name now? Sasha Caron something.
Sacha Baron Cohen.
Sacha Baron Cohen. Yeah. I mean, he was originally meant to play Freddie Mercury, and this film was stuck in development hell. I remember hearing about this film years and years ago, and it having really, really big problems. And it looked like if it wasn't gonna.
Well, one of the directors was fired.
Yeah, I think he was, wasn't he? Yeah. So this film really should be. Well, 1, it shouldn't exist, and 2, it should be crap, because usually films that are stuck in development hell like this are no good. But as Lee says, this film is not about Freddie, really. because Freddie was a very private person. I mean, it was only 24 hours before he died that he revealed he had AIDS officially. I mean, there was speculation in the papers and in the media and stuff, but he didn't announce he had AIDS and opened up more until 24 hours before his death. So this film was really never going to go into that side of his life. And in a way, I think it shouldn't have either, because I wonder if Freddie would have wanted that. Because he was a private person, and I don't think if he was alive today, he would want a film going into everything about his life when he was such a private person. But you've got to remember this. This is not a documentary. This is not a documentary. So I know that there's problems with the timeline, and I'm not the biggest fan of Queen. I mean, I love Queen's music, but you know, I'm more of a bigger fan of, let's say, ABBA. Yes. I'm a bigger fan of ABBA, but I do love Queen's music. I mean, you hear Queen's music everywhere. I mean, I've been brought up listening to it. I mean, my dad loves it, my brother loves it. You know, like Susan says, you hear it in other films. I mean, it's been in countless. You have them in animated films where the characters will dance around at the end of the movie to "We Will Rock You" or something like that. But you've got to remember, this film is not a documentary, and therefore it isn't going to be completely accurate, because it's there to entertain you. It's there for you to go to the cinema, have an experience, and it tells a cohesive story. And the guy who plays Freddie Mercury, they picked the right guy. They bloody picked the right guy. Without question, they picked the right guy. There's no question to do with that. And the directing of the film is actually very good as well. I thought the directing was really good. I think it's a thoroughly entertaining film. And like I say, the inaccuracies, yeah, but then if it was accurate, it probably wouldn't have been as entertaining. Because if you're going to put things in order, it's much more difficult to fit a story around that. Whereas they've had a bit of a freedom to mess about with the timeline and stuff like that, and the accuracies of it. So yeah.
But you've got to remember, the producers of this is Brian May and Roger Taylor.
Yeah.
You think to go through them, and if they wasn't happy with it,
I wouldn't have gone through. Yeah, it wouldn't happen now.
That's why Sacha Baron Cohen didn't get through, because they was not happy with it, what he wanted to do to the portrayal of Freddie Mercury.
And another person.
Did they start filming with him?
I think they did, and then it hit a brick wall and hiatus for a couple of years. And they said, no, we can't carry on with him. We'll get somebody else.
And then, because this guy who does it now, he's like unknown, isn't he? He was unknown before this film.
He's big. He plays the lead in Mr. Robot. It's a very good TV series, by the way.
Yeah.
It's very big. As a streaming show here in the United States, a huge. A lot of people, very popular.
But he wasn't a Hollywood star. He wasn't like, you know, a major.
He is now.
Yeah, well, he is, and especially if he wins the Oscar, which I think he should. He did win a BAFTA.
Yeah, and Golden Globe. So he's won all the nominations he's been in so far. So
I'll tell you who didn't want anything to do with the film is John Deacon.
Well, yeah, but John Deacon does, because he is part of the financial side of Queen now.
Right.
So
right. Well, he will definitely want something to do with it.
Brian May and Roger Taylor always have to go through John Deacon, whatever they do. He's still there, but he's not in the forefront anymore. He's just retired from it all. He's in the background. He just said he couldn't carry on with the band without Freddie, which I suppose is true.
Yeah, no, yeah.
They've gone on and carried on without him, and you know, they use Adam Lambert on tour and stuff like that. It won't be. It's not the same as Freddie. I can understand why John Deacon didn't want to carry on, but he's still on the financial. Everything. If he gives it a tick, it happens. If he says no, I don't want that to happen, it doesn't happen. So he does have a say.
It's not Queen to me without Freddie Mercury.
No.
It's not Queen. I don't care who they are.
Band, really. If you lose the lead singer, it's not the same.
You're a tribute band. Yeah, you're a tribute band. Yeah.
They had Paul Rodgers before Adam Lambert.
Yeah.
When the Dead lost Jerry, it didn't kill the band. It just changes things.
Yeah. No. You've got to have, because Freddie was the lead.
Yeah, but well, he was
the full power behind the band.
Exactly. Yeah, his voice.
And he was such a on stage. He was a totally different person on stage. Such a big.
Oh, the Live Aid. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that Live Aid in the movie. That the full 20 minutes they refilmed for the movie. That is the full.
Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah.
They did cut out. I noticed crazy little thing called Love.
I think that might be on the DVD.
Yeah.
It's on the DVD though.
Unbelievably, that section there, they filmed that on the first day of filming.
Did they?
Yeah. That 20-minute section of them singing on Live Aid.
Talk about going and jumping in the deep end, yeah.
And if they get that right on the first day of filming, I don't know. It's just awards galore for me, I would say, for this movie.
Yeah. I mean, I was actually going to watch this at the cinema with my dad, and he'd heard some bad reviews about it, and we decided not to go because we heard some bad reviews at the time, and we thought, oh well, it's not worth it, is it? But now I wish I had gone to see it.
You don't listen to the critics.
I'm not listening to the critics anymore. Yeah. Who listens to people that review stuff anyway? Eh?
Come on. I'm living in Wales, and the weather forecast says it's going to be bright and sunny tomorrow, and you get up and it's raining.
There we go. So, favourite moments. Let's go to Susan, since she hasn't had time to speak for a while.
All right. All right. My favorite moment was when they were in the studio coming up with the Bohemian Rhapsody, like the operatic portion, like those sorts of images are really strong, and I really like how they worked in the studio. Until Freddie, until this movie, I really didn't know much about the band Queen. So I learned a lot about how they were and where they caught their little genius movements. Oh my gosh. Let me tell you, like, there were a lot, and I know a whole lot more about a band whose music I liked, but now I really like their attitudes and things, and I also liked it when he met the man from his tour who he became close with, lovers with, or whatever. He was his best friend or whatever for the rest of his life. That was I love those romantic moments. I mean, I didn't totally get the I didn't feel the chemistry between the woman who played his wife, and him. I didn't feel that chemistry, so I was just, I kept looking for something more in the movie.
I don't think nor did he.
But she is actually living in his house.
Yeah. I understand that they stayed friends forever. I understand that they parted amicably and that everything was cool. I just, in the movie, they didn't show the chemistry between his wife and him. They showed the friendship, but they didn't show the chemistry. So I just kept looking for more.
His relationships were very complicated, and
apparently, especially being Turkish. Especially being Turkish, because Turkish people, to be a Turkish man, all the Turkish men that I ever dated and ever knew were, fierce and passionate to the point, to that razor edge of predatory. I mean, they demanded things of you. They demanded time of you. They demanded, that demand, that pulling on that is essential to the character of a Turkish lover, a Turkish man, is that they just go for what they want. And I mean, it's like ubiquitous. It doesn't matter if they're from Eastern Anatolia or from Bodrum down in the south, or from way up in Istanbul, or on the Black Sea. The character of a Turkish man is kind of cultural, and I mean, you get caught up in that, and they really do know how to romance. So when I didn't feel the chemistry between the characters, I knew that he was looking for more.
Yeah.
So that was really evident, and it was interesting because, the other side of being Turkish is that, a lot of the attitude towards homosexuality in Turkey is awful. It's just terrible. And
you got to remember,
back in the 80s, when I was there, it was a capital offense. Without a trial, no trial needed, just capital offense. And so, Freddie Mercury had a lot to go through, and I can't imagine it because I didn't really watch it happen. I wasn't that close. I wasn't watching the band very much, but Rami captured it, and so that's just my favorite moment is when that finally came, when he finally was able to push himself onto somebody who was able to respond. That was satisfying. So good stuff.
But I mean, you just think how homophobic the UK was in the 80s.
Nothing. I was in the UK also in the 80s, and it wasn't bad. It wasn't as bad as Turkey. It wasn't as bad as Montana. I mean, I was from a small town in Montana, and it was worse there than the UK. And then it was even worse in Turkey. I mean, it was worse by a factor of 50 in Turkey. You got to understand, it's just like my whole experience of that was completely different than most, because I'd been in all the places that that it was.
I don't know about Turkey, but we've definitely moved forward here in the UK. I mean, same-sex couples can now get married in the UK. So, I mean, if he was, young now, if he was being brought up now, he might have been more open about his sexuality. But back then, you really couldn't. I mean, my granddad was gay, but he could never be openly gay because of the consequences. I mean, he had to marry to basically hide his sexuality. He had to marry a woman, and that's a terrible society to live in when you have to do that just because that you love somebody of the same sex. That's terrible. So are you more of a Queen fan now? You have more respect for them, do you, after this film, dear Susan? You're more
definitely, yes.
Yeah, no, that's good. That's what you want the film to do. Let's go to Stephen for favourite moments.
Favourite moments, the part I had to laugh at where he touched his behind. That guy, he fancied that guy.
Yeah,
Who later became his partner until he died, till Freddie died. And I think he's been dead. I think he's been dead about 7-8 years now.
mm.
His partner. Yeah. Favorite moments has got to be when they go out to do the Live Aid concert,
Yeah,
and the bass player John Deacon. It looked like him. You think, oh my God, it's John Deacon, like the bass player, and the rest of them, like the Live Aid was just absolutely amazing.
but how they got it so accurate and the costumes and stuff like that, because they have, they have to create these things and they have to make it look genuine at that time.
If you look at behind the scenes, they have to get the stage for the Live Aid. They have to get all the lights.
Yeah, it's incredible. Yeah. I mean, the work that goes into making it so realistic and genuine.
And they had actual people, about 50 people, doing Radio Gaga, where they do the clapping and all this and that.
So the audience, there was an actual audience there?
Yeah,
recreation of it.
But they CGI the rest, the stadium, and the way they done it was amazing.
Well, of course, that would make sense.
So I really wish I'd seen it in the cinema. I bet the music would have been amazing. Instead on my laptop.
I seen it in HMV, on CD. It's out on cassette and all.
Cassette?
Who the hell?
On the cassette, those old things that used to get in. No way. Who uses cassette?
I know, they're terrible. They always used to. All the cassettes I had would just chew the bits.
Yeah, I hated cassettes. Yeah, I really did hate cassettes. They just all come out, wouldn't they? As a scraggly mess. Yeah.
Yeah. I remember watching the Freddie Mercury tribute concert.
Yeah.
The last time John Deacon played with them was Queen brought out the single Only But You, it's called.
Yeah.
The Only the Good Die Young or something like that it was called, and that's the last we've seen of him,
Yeah. Is that it? All your favourite moments?
Yeah, there's probably some more. It's just I did tear up a bit when he blew his mother a kiss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Stephen
on the Live Aid thing.
I just can't imagine you tearing up over something like that, Stephen. I don't know why. Are you sure it just wasn't a bit of rainwater?
It could have been.
The roof.
Yeah. Could have been sitting here watching it. The next minute, the roof isn't leaking.
Now, let's go over to Lee, who's cradling his pussy. I've seen you patting it. That's what I was laughing. I wasn't laughing at Susan. I was giggling at Lee patting his pussy. I'm sorry. I just have to clear that up.
Sure.
Well, Freddie was a cat lover as well.
Yes, he was. Yes, and there was plenty of cats in the film.
Yeah, well, he left, as far as I know, he left his house and the cats to Mary. I mean, that scene in it where he's ringing up, he wanted to talk to the cats more than he did Mary.
Yeah.
Actually, it did happen. It happened a lot. But I just like the way they showed you that not just the good points. They did show you the bad points of being in the band, arguing and being creative. They were more creative when they were arguing, at loggerheads with each other. And it did show you the bad days of him, with the drugs, being used by his first lover, as we say, Paul. Okay, he wasn't fired like that in just before Live Aid. He got rid of him in 1986. As I say, he died the same year as Freddie Mercury did. A good scene where they showed you with the DJ Kenny Everett, because nobody would play the Bohemian Rhapsody on the radio. And he was friends with Kenny Everett. He got him to play it on the radio. But apparently, I don't know how true it is, but Kenny played it over and over again. 6 minutes of Bohemian Rhapsody just on one show, loads of times. And it got to number one in 75, Stephen? It was 1975. And it stayed there for 9 weeks.
I remember buying it. I think it cost me about 50p. It was a single at that time.
Yeah, as I say, it stayed there for 9 weeks, and then when Freddie died, they re-released it again, got to number one again in the UK, stayed there for 5 weeks.
Got to number one in the US too.
Yeah,
that's when it got to number one in the United States.
What, in 91? Yeah. It has been in the UK. It has been voted the best song of all time. The public's favourite. Any poll, it's always the top of the poll. And this is a song that the record company didn't want to. Of all songs of all time, not just Queen. That
really?
Bohemian Rhapsody, always comes on top, as voted by the public as the best favourite song of whatever poll it's in. There's no ABBA at top.
No, I don't believe that. Come on, it's Dancing Queen.
No, the Bohemian Rhapsody always seems to top these polls. It just hits home. People just
not even Susan's believing that one. Out of all
in the UK
songs, I don't think so.
In the UK,
not even Pussy believes you.
But that song, the record company didn't want to release. It just shows you the management.
They don't know what they're talking about. No.
Always listen to the artists. So it's everything in it was brilliant. I mean, some of the things it's been stretched or it's been brought forward. I mean, it's like there was a song in the movie, "Who Wants to Live Forever," which they didn't release until 1986. This film only goes up to 1985. So you know what I mean. There is a bit of inaccuracy there.
Yeah, but I don't care about that. That bothers me. It really doesn't bother me.
I don't care at all. It's a damn good movie.
But if you want accuracy, go and watch a documentary on Queen that is actually accurate.
And there is loads of documentaries out there about Queen.
Yeah.
And also as well, if anybody's watching this,
well, Susan and Alex are, so let's give them a wave. Hey, Susan, hey, Alex. Give yourself a wave, Susan.
I do recommend you watch a Queen concert. There's quite a few out there now. Live at Wembley in 1986 or in Rio Rocks and stuff like that.
My favourite is Wembley 1986. Brilliant.
Yeah, brilliant. If you can ever get, it'll be online somewhere or whatever. Queen
and he mentions in that we're going to sing a new song, "Who Wants to Live Forever."
Correct, and that was 1986. Yeah. So.
Stephen on his little clown bike. He's pedaling away. He's off to Swansea. Anyway, yeah. Oh, this film. Oh, favourite moments. Oh my God. Everything really with music, because I love the Queen music. And the songs are fantastic. The Live Aid bit was amazing. And it's just a really solid film, I believe. I think, as I said earlier, I think if it had gone realistic in Freddie's life, you know, gone into the sexuality more and everything like that, not only would it have got backlash off people, because people would have, you know, people are still quite funny about that type of thing, sadly. It would have got backlash. But also, I don't think Freddie would have wanted that. I don't think he would have agreed with that at all. And I don't think even Brian May and all that, who have to agree everything in this film, would have even allowed that. So I think for what it is, it's good entertainment. And that's what it is. Don't take it as a true, 100% accurate, because we know it's not 100% accurate. But it's a good film with amazing music. I mean, it was always going to have amazing music. But the guy who plays Freddie Mercury, he makes this film. He completely steals the entire film. And I do love, like Susan said, the creative process behind the songs and stuff like that. And yeah, they fell out. I mean, every single band falls out. What band doesn't fall out? I mean, even the greatest band of all time, ABBA, they fell out. I mean, they all do. When you're in that pressure cooker of having to create stuff, it's explosive, isn't it? Because you are going to fight. But the thing is, like Lee said, your best material comes out of that fighting, because you put your emotions behind it. I mean, if you look again, ABBA, The Winner Takes It All, it's all about their divorce, because they're at war with each other. But that song is wrote with such pain and passion.
All right. Let's steer it back from ABBA.
Sorry,
You got lost again, Alan. We're talking about Queen.
Queen, yeah. Sorry, Queen, yeah.
I'm not an ABBA fan, so don't mention them, please. Thank you.
Well, I went to see an ABBA. I saw an ABBA tribute act last Friday. So
I know you're hung up, but please let's finish this discussion about Bohemian
that's Madonna.
Rhapsody.
That's Madonna. Hung up's Madonna, not ABBA. Yeah, but let's go to final say and score. Let's go to Stephen.
Amazing film. Going to watch it again. Love the music. Always love Queen's music. Solid 10. Solid 10.
Again, you've watched it 4 times already. You're going to watch it for
I'm going to watch it again. The guy is amazing. Who plays him? He's amazing.
Stephen, you really, really positively need to watch Mr. Robot. From I'll just lay that in your lap, because that's.
Oh my God.
He does a lot of stuff in that is like incredible. He's a really good actor.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've not seen that. I've never even heard of it. Oh, I can see. Yeah, there he is. Yeah, on the front of that. Yeah. Yeah, but yeah. Susan, what's your final say and score?
Well, I liked it. It was really, really cool, and because it did a lot of amazing things. When I saw it, I cried a bit. I cheered a bit. It moved me, Bob. So I think I'm gonna give it an 8.5. No, I'll give it a 9 out of 10. Because it was I'll move it up. It was really good, and I'll give Queen as a band, as their music, I'll give that a 10, 12, 14 or something. They're really great.
All right, then let's go to Lee.
I can't knock it. This film is just utterly brilliant. I wish they'd make more films like this. I hope they do more biopics of.
Well, they are. They're doing them. Elton John, Rocket Man, coming out very soon.
It's more fantasy based. I don't know. It's a bit out there. Apparently, I've heard. But
Yeah, but don't listen to critics. No, don't.
Like
because
across the
that's what
universe. No, Rocket Man is going to be like across the universe. It's going to be that kind of trippy.
I've seen the trailer. It does look trippy.
Yeah, but Elton John was is.
All rock stars were trippy. God,
Yeah.
Freddie Mercury was Bills.
Yeah, no, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a gold-plated. What shall I say? 10 Deos. Deo.
Do.
Not daylight come.
Hey, I beg your pardon.
Let me start, Lee. Dale! Lee, go for it.
No, you. She's on about you, you know.
Never mind. This cast has gone off the rails.
It's his new tablet.
Again, we train wrecked.
Well, we're constant.
At your age, yeah, you probably are. Yes, right. So, did you give your score? Yeah, not 10. You gave it 10, didn't you?
10 Deos.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay. Well, I thought this film was absolute crap. I'd give it a 1 out of 10. No, I'm only joking. No, it's an enjoyable film. It's got sad moments. It's got funny moments. But most of all, it's got great music. And you can just listen to the music in this and it'll entertain you. Yeah, I'm going to give it... I'm tempted to give it a 10. But, you know, if they do an ABBA film like this, I think that would have to be a 10.
It's about Queen, not bloody
No,
ABBA.
No,
but I'm just saying, if they
driving it into
brought
the
a
ABBA
film,
court again.
I'm sure an ABBA movie would not be as riveting.
for me, it would be.
They've already done.
So
Alex says
gonna-
they've already
I'm gonna
done 3.
I'm going to give it a 9.9, and I'm going to give the ABBA film that's going to come out eventually a 10. So that is my score.
Someone's going to be disappointed.
Probably, but I don't care. It's ABBA. I'll give it number 10. And as for Queen, since Susan scored Queen, I'm going to give Queen a 9.9 because ABBA's a 10 and nobody can beat ABBA. Sorry, Queen. Not even you. Sorry, Freddie. If you know.
Oh,
You're
what?
watching this up
You've gotta
there.
be-
What did you give?
Smoking?
What did you give that Beatles album that we reviewed? I think you gave that a 10.
Oh, no. Well, I'm bringing that down to a 9.7 then.
See, ABBA can't have been that good because Live Aid didn't get them to reform for that concert.
They didn't want to.
Well, neither did they.
Yeah, but it brought Queen, didn't it? Because Queen was pretty much...
No, there wasn't actually. That is made up.
Yeah.
Yeah, they never split.
Yeah, but so ABBA split. So that's the difference. There you go.
Yeah, but why
You
wasn't
just
ABBA?
answered your own question. Let's go. And on that note, thank you for joining me, everybody. Thank you for watching.
I'm going to say one thing before
Look
we
after yourself. Take care, and we will see you next time.